Very good afternoon. After this lovely food, now some food for thought. And at the outset, I would like to congratulate CEGR. We are now celebrating our 11th Foundation Day. The legendary, very charismatic Ravish, the director of CEGR, has seen it grow from a small seedling to a plant of almost a banyan tree. I mean, some kind of record this that he was talking about just before lunch. 200 owners, 100 vice chancellors, 1,000 academicians, 100 bureaucrats, and what have you. And 10,000 members. So I think I would like you to kindly acknowledge this wonderful journey of CEGR, and many congratulations Ravish and the entire team. Having said that, as I said, that many congratulations on the 11th Foundation Day, and what a lovely theme they have picked up is for the Vision 2047. 2047, I don't know how many of us will be around. Definitely one on the right and few on the left will definitely be there, but about me, I do not know. However, 2047 is also the year when all the time when I have no doubt, all of us have no doubt in our mind that we will be amongst the top 2 economies in the world. And for that, the nation has to prepare, and for all ills, education is the only pill. And therefore, if we have to be there, which we have to be there, education has to be planned from now. So I congratulate CEGR for picking up this very important topic of Education 2047, and we should all start putting our mind. The topic given for this technical session to us, before I go ahead, I would also like to pay my respect to all my fellow panelists who are here, and we will try to put our thoughts on this important topic of curriculum and exam reforms and integrating technology and skills in education. There are actually 4 themes in one, but we will try and do justice, and I will of course, what we will do is first we will have some opening remarks and then we will have some quick discussions. I request my panelists to be brief for about 3 to 5 minutes to give your opening remarks so that we can then engage into discussion and I can ask you some questions and we can all discuss this together. So towards that, I would make my opening remarks and then pass on the mantle to my fellow panelists here. Curriculum and exam reforms. I think curriculum is the basis of the education, and whatever we had been talking for last 3 years, CEGR has been making some giant contributions in terms of making policy recommendations to the government and also to put up best practices. Now, if the education has to be guaranteeing what we are looking for in NEP 2020, which is holistic development, which is freedom to the learner, which is also trying to equate all kinds of disciplines. By that what I mean is that right now there is a hierarchy. There is a hierarchy, engineering, sciences, arts, that kind of a thing. Whereas NEP has put it very clearly that every knowledge is knowledge. Frankly speaking, this compartmentalizing of knowledge was a Western philosophy. As per our Sanatan philosophy, Gyan is Gyan. There is no bifurcations of Gyan. It's only around 16th century that people had made this curriculum, had made these demarcations because they have thought the problems is too big to be solved comprehensively. And which is why we broke. This will be done by physics, by chemistry, by biology, and so on and so forth. Today, when we are in this particular situation, as was being mentioned about ChatGPT, about AI, AR, VR, AI, they are all behind us. Robots will be performing operations. Robots are performing operations Cars will be driving themselves, and so on and so forth. Now, in this, when the technology is driving technology, technology is making technology, then what in the world we as human beings are doing? I think which means it is now has to be more comprehensive understanding of the context, and therefore the curriculum has to be, in my suggestion, one third, one third, one third. One third should be some basic knowledge which is required for you to function in that. Another one third should be about skills. So I'm talking about knowledge and skills. And one third should be left to the learner up to as to what the person wants to do with life and does it. So quite simply, if I am trying to get into engineering, then first basic principles of engineering, skills about how does welding done, how is manufacturing process done. Now after that, leave it to me. I want to build aircrafts, I want to build cars, or I want to. Can curriculum enable that? Is one of my suggestions. I just said one third, one third, one third because it's simpler to say it like that. But not necessarily one third. Now what happens is, many times it has been found, and a lot of NBA teams visiting have actually, I used to sit as General Council member in NBA for 6 years. And what we used to say that we teach something which is this, quite complex, quite big. And when we test this. The examinations are actually not the reflection of the learning, and therefore NEP has made provisions that there should be more of continuous assessments. The previous panel dealt with it, Madam talked about it, about the continuous assessments and so on and so forth. So now this assessment also has to be thought about very, very differently, because we are going to be in a situation when the learner knows more than the teacher. The learner knows more than the teacher as far as the subject is concerned. Definitely, learner does not know about the application. And that is where we come to understanding of context, understanding the whole world view. So examinations have to be not examining what you know, you have to examine what you can do. Now it is not simple to design an examination system for what you can do. And other part of integrating technology and skills in education, needless to say, that like in every walk of life, technology is the only answer to do things fast, do things economically, do things equitably. And which is why in education also, a lot of things are already happening. There are a lot of partners, these companies who are now bringing us the technology. But the good part will be only when quality education can reach the last person in the village, the remotest village, and where they can use this technology for their learning, for their assessment and growth. That's the time when we have integrated technology in education. So these were few of my thoughts that I thought that just to initiate the discussion. And now I would request Manish Kothari to please present his opening remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Sunil Rai. Mr. Sunil Rai, we are sharing the dais for the second time, and it's a pleasure to share the dais with you, listen to you, talk to you, and spend some good moments. I think before I go ahead, congratulations to CEGR for the good work that it's doing. One, bringing the community of thought leaders together. Two, seeing that we discuss what is relevant and we put in place what is required for a good tomorrow. So I appreciate that, Ravish and all the team members of CEGR, including all of us. Congratulations on this great foundation day. From Bangalore, so from South, we bring namaskara to all of you and would love to spread it along in North. And my flight in the morning was from Bangalore to Delhi, and it's always a delight to come to this place and meet people here. I'll come to the point because there are 4 interesting things that he has added in our topic. He's added curriculum. As you said, he's added examinations. He's added technology and skills together, and that's the topic we are talking about. So just to make my opening remarks clean and clear, I'll take you to our great olden days. Great olden days when Pandavas and the Kauravas were asked to go to Dronacharya to learn their skills, curriculum and whatever and get tested and come back. Now imagine when Kauravas and Pandavas went to Dronacharya and Dronacharya immediately asked them, gave them a bow and arrow to all of them and asked them to learn the skills of shooting bow and arrow. What would have happened? But at that time what they did was, they gave all of them different skill sets and asked them to practice and see what's good with each one of them. And only then Arjuna came to know that I am good with bow and arrow, and Bhim came to know that I am good with Gada, with the Gada in hand, and so many things happened. Now even to test them, they were all not given the same fish on the tree and the bird on the tree, the parrot on the tree and asked to shoot that arrow. Each one was given different ways of testing. To one it was told, please take the gada and hit on the tree or the rock and showcase your strength. And to another one it was said, how will you shoot the eye of that bird? And different skill sets tests were given. Don't you and I feel that we are going back to our roots? This NEP that we are talking about is exactly taking us from where we have come. We are trying to say that our curriculum, which we are talking about today, is meant to suit every person in their own styles. In between what we did was 60 in a classroom was given the same curriculum and all 60 were supposed to become Arjuna with bow and arrow. And now we have come to a curriculum where we are saying that, hey look, you are good in sports. Why don't you add sports to your curriculum and start working on it? And he decides that I am good with horse riding. Why don't you add horse riding to your skills and then move it forward? So as he said, one third, it just numerologically some numbers. But if you look at it, ethics, values, systems is what we as educationists are giving. But rest of the choices is now left to the pupil to decide, and the faculty, whom we call the Guruji, decides whether he is fitting that skills or no. And if he is not fitting that skill, he is then asked, Are Baba, this is not suiting you. Why don't you change something else? So he becomes more a mentor. And my second topic, which says examination, now we have come back to our old examination system, wherein we are using gamification to test one student. We as universities now, we have been given the freedom to test in our own ways. So the faculty makes the choice. He is good with case studies, let us give him case studies and test whether he is able to understand those skill sets or no. Whereas I send my other pupil to a live industry practice and based on the project he does in the industry, I am going to judge him. Now that's the freedom what NEP is giving us. So if you ask me, we have come back to what our great old grandfathers had taught us and we are practicing it in style by adding technology to it. So Chat GPT or the other new tools that have come through the use of artificial intelligence or virtual reality is making us smarter, but yet keeping us footed on the ground. So it's a pride to see that we practice the same old things in a more better blended fashion and make a world a better place to live in. What stays tall even now, which will be always respected, which was done in the past and in the future, is that Guruji, whom you call the faculty, you call the professor, or you call whatever, will always remain there to ask you your dakshina. The Guru dakshina may be in the form of your value, your growth or whatever. The faculty will still remain the same. So that's my take on this topic. The curriculum, the examination, the technology and the skill have now become one. And that's towards the better of that pupil to make it a better living and see that he takes his career forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Excellent example from the Mahabharata. We are all fighting our own Mahabharata and it's very timely about this particular. I'll go left, right? And I request Sumit to please make your opening remarks. You are free to do it from here or there.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Ravish ji, for this opportunity. and it's a good topic to discuss on this curriculum, exam, and integrations. I think the Sarah will speak like we cannot replace the faculty. Faculty is the pillar of this education system. We cannot replace them at all. Coming to the technology and integration part, I think it's already started. From NEP 2020 have given a push to start integrating to the curriculum. I think we all have started integrating a lot of skilling system, and lot of corporates are starting integrating to the skill ecosystems. Lot of center of excellence. If I go back to 5 years back, I think no college is very keen to set up center of excellence. This is a hand-picked situations. But now all the colleges are coming ahead to set up center of excellence, adopting the industry technology, and lot of industries also started coming inside the academics. So this is happening because the industry academia gap. We are talking to industry academia gap. For that reason, this topic comes: can we integrate technology into the curriculum or not? Now, really speaking, coming from the industry, gap cannot be closed because the industry is running to survive themselves. They are going in 1,000 speed. And as a academy, we are having our values, we are having our limitations, we are having our own way of working. We cannot compete with them, but we have to make our curriculum such a way that a student entering in first year, coming out from the after 4 years, because after 4 years nobody has seen it. What is going to be happen? If I showcase that yes, TCS is going to hire 2,000 people in this year, it may be 0 or it may be 2 lakhs, nobody knows. And it may be chat GPT, and what is going to be in 4 years, even if you ask an industry person, he cannot tell us. Damnly telling, if you ask an industry person what my future after 4 years, he don't know. Because his survival is at a stake. So our work as an academician is, we should give the basics, as the sir told, basic is the must. Have to be given to the students that when he come out, he should know everything to be ready for the market. Now coming to the skill set. Skill set, I always give the example like pizza. Like if I start with the example, pizza example I give all these students when I address to students. Like making the pizza base the work of all engineering colleges. Now coming to the toppings are the buffet plate, all skill sets. Now let the student choose what the toppings he wants. So according to their toppings, he will change his value. He will increase his value. But if we make the pizza with all these toppings and tell them to eat it, it may not be suit to that person. So that is how the technology integration starting to the academic curriculums and all. It's already started. I can give lot of examples. We have started like AICT have started virtual intensive. That is the best thing for integrating the curriculum, because as we know, to implement this industry integration to the curriculum, because there are lot of vendors. If you come to, let's say, I integrate AI. Now, which vendor technology I am going to AI? So now what happens, the AICT have done virtual intensive where lot of people, lot of corporates are coming up, giving their internships so that students can learn multiple technologies. Students can learn the AWS cloud, can learn Azure cloud, can learn Google cloud, which is the best suit for the market, they can speak it. So that is one. And second, lot of state governments. We are very closely, I am working with AP government. They have integrated almost all curriculum into that. And they have done that any student do 2 months or 6 months intensive, he will get 2 credit or 4 credit, which is how we have personally implemented these situations. I think 1 month back there is a skill assessment come. AP is almost top of the skill assessment of India. So that is how the technology revolution is coming up, and the government is also adopting this curriculum changes slowly. So yes, technology have to be in the curriculum, but in a very balanced way, as I told, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, and but that should be 1/3 for skill set and technology integration. So that is my view on this integration part. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You have highlighted the vulnerability of future. We all know that in some Dell report which was being quoted, that by 2030, the jobs that will come, the present jobs, 90% of them will not exist. 90% of the jobs that are there today will not exist. It is just about 7 years time from now. And he talked about that kind of uncertainty, which is what we need to prepare the students for. So now I move to my other panel colleague, Mayur. So please, your opening remarks.
Thank you, Sunil sir. A great initiative by CEGR for taking this fantastic event today, and I'm so privileged to share the dais with the learned faculties and the domain expert from education sector. Yeah, curriculum is one of the foremost important for any education sector. As we are aware of that, our reaction to change in the curriculum is one of the important hurdle in the change in the overall ecosystem of education. Take an example, in one of the university when I attended, I am a chartered accountant by profession too. So in 2019 when I attended one of the university because for professional work, they given me a task to please guide few students in the classroom on the various aspects of taxation. And in the university, the subject was going value added tax. And in July 27 itself, the VAT has been discontinued across India and GST has replaced the VAT. Just one of the example, I think many of them you will agree with it, that even after 3 years of discontinuation of VAT, the syllabus was still on VAT and CST. And after 4 years of passing from the university, the students after coming in out of the syllabus, completing the course or getting the graduation degree, what they have gained? Value added tax in 2021. Until that time, in 2021, the GST Act has been amended 600 times. This will be quite technical. So till date, 800 reforms have been undertaken in GST Act. So you can just understand the situation of that student, how he or she will adopt in the industry. So my take on curriculum is that I will agree with sir that it should be industry feedback, industry oriented. It should be problem solving. It should be pain solving. Unless and until we get the feedback of the industry, what is the demand of the industry, rather we need to take into consideration the requirement of the industry and accordingly keep on revamping this curriculum. पर होता क्या है सर, यहाँ पर बहुत बार हमने जो देखा है, I'm giving a third perspective, that changing a curriculum itself is a daunting task in all academics. Lot of procedural, compliance, executive things are required to be done, but till that time, the subject itself is getting outdated. So that is right now the biggest qualification, the most qualification recently invented. You know which one is the recently invented qualification? AI consultant. ChatGPT consultant is the new qualification invented just few months before. So now ChatGPT consultant, ChatGPT advisor, how to write content through ChatGPT, that is now a new stream of consultancy. And every other day on LinkedIn you can see people are now giving lectures to how to use ChatGPT. So new profession is coming out. Just one of the example, and rightly pointed by sir, by 2030, I would like to say in another way, by 2030, the degree or the skills which will be prevailing are yet to be invented. Completely it will be outdated. It's very clear. So my take is only that we need to have fast reaction on the curriculum. Automatically the examination, the gamification, the changing, technological adoption in all these aspects will come later on, and I think that we can discuss in the second part of this discussion area. Thank you for giving me opportunity to share my views on this interesting subject.
Thank you. Very nicely said. And of course, I can, as he was talking, I could empathize without. After we finished, बोलिए. Okay. Yeah. Okay, fine. I think I'll request you, sir. I'll give you a chance. I'll give you a chance to please come up with Sure. Okay, all right. No, of course, I will invite you and you can please convey it on the. All right. Yeah, sure. So that the others also, we heard, the rest of the hall didn't hear, so I'll request you once again to please make your remarks. May I now request Sushil to make his opening remarks. You can start from here, whatever.
Thank you so much. Honor to share the dais with all the dignitaries. So I'll make my opening remarks on one specific topic out of the entire topics which we have, which is around integrating, and I would want to extrapolate the topic to integrating and implementing technology in education, because that's a topic which is very close to personally my heart. So I want to take a little flashback. 2015, after spending around, or rather investing around 11 years in the industry, in the banking industry, I asked myself one question: what do I want to do next in my life? And I realized that I had learned so many different things about technology, and I said, which are the other industries and domains where I can use this knowledge? And I realized after speaking to few people that education was one area where technology adoption, and I talk about 2015-16, was at an extremely low level. When I talk about adoption, I don't talk about just buying, but I talk about implementing technology. Right? And there is where my journey and association with education started. I come from banking as my personal background, and from there, from 2015-16, started Extra Edge along with my co-founder, and from there on we started with a mission that how can I bring technology, how can we bring technology to education. That's the single most mission we have been working with via different our products. So that's the first thing I want to share, that when it comes to implementing technology in education, there is a lot to learn from other industries. Like I spoke about banking, where I personally come from, and if you pick up industries like e-commerce, if you pick up industries like telecom, right? The way adoption and implementation of technology is done, I think that's going to be very valuable for us to learn, and we have been trying to do the same with the institute partners whom we work with. That's the first thing. Learn from other businesses, learn from other domains, so that you can carry the learning back over here. Okay. The second important thing I want to speak about when it comes to again implementing technology is to look at changing ways of the customers whom we serve, and in this case, as educationists, the people whom we serve are our students, right? Their expectations and experiences have been changing day in and day out, right? They are used to buying things so quickly. They are used to do all sorts of financial transactions in the online world. And now, as Mayur and as my other colleagues spoke about ChatGPT, etc., right? Which means that today, for example, if you want to counsel a student for an admission process, and this is the area where we work on, right? More often than not, the student is going to know much more about you because he would have already searched about you on ChatGPT and got all the information which would be on your website via ChatGPT itself. So there is going to be no point in you sharing the same thing again with him via your different channels. So how are you going to change that? The last important thing which I want to share is around my opening comment. The idea about all the technology implementation has to be that we need to understand what is the requirement, and then ensure that we use technology in the right way to reach to our requirement. So that's my opening remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's have the opening remarks from Sameer.
So thank you very much. So it's very challenging to speak last, but let me make the best out of it. So just to put a context in place, we heard some challenges which technology, curriculum, integration and skilling are bringing in. I would like to focus more on some use cases, some real solutions which we have been able to implement in India also. To give you a background, I represent the Harvard Business School Publishing Division and Harvard Business School Online. Many of you in the audiences have been our very valued customers, and we have done some path-breaking work with you all, including Manish. So we know what the challenges are at the institution, at the university levels, and how that can be addressed. Having said that, my personal view, the jobs of tomorrow are something which are unknown, which everybody said. But what is more important when it comes to jobs? There will be no permanent jobs in the future. All jobs are going to be temporary. All jobs are going to be project driven. All jobs are going to be freelancing jobs, irrespective of the industry which we are in. So if the situation is of jobs which are unknown, so the skills to do those jobs are also going to be unknown. And this is a research across the world. So if we are thinking campus placements is an indicator of a good institution, completely wrong. And things are changing slowly, gradually, but they will change very, very fast. And Sunil Rai sir also mentioned 2030 and all, things are moving faster than that. So if the situation is such where there are no jobs in the future for the youth, then what do we teach? Do we continue what a regulator told us to do, or a syllabus which we designed some or many years back? So it's about the curriculum. And if it is about the curriculum, we straight come to a very, very time-tested concept which very reputed institutions in the world and in India have used, which is known as the T-shaped manager. Right? So we have heard about the T-shaped design thinking concept, where the depth of the T is your arts, commerce, science, engineering, all of those, the formal education. And that is what we all focus on, unfortunately. Right? But the future is in the hands who are looking at the width of the T. So that's about skills, short, nano skills, which are required for jobs of tomorrow. And those skills could be design thinking, entrepreneurship, chat GPT, sustainability, right? Launching tech ventures, how to be a freelancer, negotiation skills, data analytics skills. These skills cannot be taught all the time in the syllabuses. So these are the width of the T. And you have your formal education, the formal degrees, which is the depth of the T, and you create a curriculum which is typically very, very futuristic, very fluid in nature, and that can solve the challenges of tomorrow. And to do this thing, we may have regulatory hurdles, challenges, which also Mayur mentioned, but the fact of the matter is that there are more than 500 institutions in India today who work with us to create such kind of curriculums. How do you bring newness in the syllabus? We can keep saying curriculum is outdated, curriculum is outdated. How do you bring newness in the curriculum? And the solution to that many a times becomes case studies. The solution to that many a times becomes simulations. The solution to this many a times becomes short duration online programs. If we do not bring this in the curriculums in the classroom, trust me, students do not respect faculty members, and that's the reality of life. What challenges are we facing on curriculum? You all know about it, right? Students don't respect faculty, the attention span of students is reduced in the classroom, faculty is not able to teach with new age technology and learning aids, and at the end of it, we are not able to produce students who are industry ready. These are the realities. We cannot hide from them. So curriculum changes is going to be critical. There are ways and means and very, very low cost solutions which come through collaborations which one can look at. And how to again then move this through a technology platform. Chat GPT is of today. 3 months back we were talking about metaverse. Now everybody has forgotten metaverse. So technologies are fads and they will change. What will remain is to create employable youth. There are newer models which have now emerged to really bring the newness in the classroom through technology. Some few quick examples I will give you is social learning. Many people don't know what is social learning. So we have to go back to our learner, our customer, our student. They are a community of youngsters who like to be in a community. So you have your Instagram communities and your Facebook communities and you have your local communities. They spend their whole days on communities. Correct? And then we are trying to teach them in isolation. So social learning is the newest way of using technology where people integrate with each other. Second is how do you bring interaction and interactivity in the curriculum, which we lack because it is a monologue otherwise. Right? Faculty is teaching, student is trying to make some sense out of which he cannot make in many cases. So how do you make the curriculum engaging? So there are things known as 3 to 5 minute rules of engagement. Whether assessments are done within the program, like Manish, you spoke about assessments, examinations. Why do you wait for trimesters and semesters to end? There are ways and means by using technology where you can bring assessment as soon as you do the curriculum. So you do a topic, you do an assessment, you share that assessment through technology, through other peers. So peer group learning, peer group assessment is a very, very smart way of doing it. And of course, ultimately, how do you bring industry in the classroom? And the industry comes through classroom by doing projects which are known as employer-funded education. So these are things which are practical solutions. The future looks like what, degrees don't matter. That's the reality. The future looks like employer-funded education. And these use cases are available in India. Happy to share with you after this program also. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It was a fantastic account. And of course, I had been a user of. Sir, as I promised you, may I request you to please come on the stage and make your part from this mic.
I am Dr. G.L. Agrawal, by profession chartered accountant. I am also running a very small NGO, especially in healthcare and skill development. Whatever may be institution or a university, my suggestion is this: every time curriculum is changing according to the situation, and it should be employment based or some business based. I am giving the one quotation. That is Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, that is top in the world, which is giving complete training as well as academic. 3-year training or 2-3 year for the academic. Not a single person, neither unemployed or not, maybe some not qualified, but all are the employed. So this is suggestion by all the institutions, university, kindly do the curriculum, and whatever may be changes, do time to time changes in curriculum also. This is my suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. This was just to tell you that we always know how to maintain our promises. So I promised you that